boys do not believe that I have the guts to do this. It's like, oh, honey, I had a mohawk. This is nothing. And mess with me, I will come to school and pick you up with one. They've learned not, yeah, I know, they've learned not to dare me. It's like, really? You've met my family. You know you cannot embarrass me, but I can embarrass you. Anyways, now I have something to show y'all. Yay!
Oh, that's so cool.
Unfortunately, I got the one copy that they sent me early, but when they hit the stores in a few weeks, everybody can get one. But yeah, that's the only copy I have now. We get to show it off at Comic-Con, so yay! Anyway, y'all guys, we've got lots of giveaways. We have pirate hats. Who wants to model the pirate hat? Right?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. We brought y'all pre-Comic-Con goodies for the people. Even sharing. So we have lots of good giveaways for everybody. I can mock my family, or you guys can ask me questions. Or we can let Carl continue to answer them online and hate me.
No. Today's her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Yeah, we came all the way from Christmas for her birthday to her favorite author.
We gotta make sure you're gonna have that. There we go. Come model hat. The hat. What colors do we have?
We have red and purple and blue.
So what is your favorite color? Blue. Anybody else have a birthday today?
Yeah.
Woo! 14.
What color would you like?
Oh, purple. Red.
Red? Alright, who else's birthday? Suddenly everybody's going to have a birthday, right? Be honest. Make sure all the birthday people get a hat. Oh, I know, I'm a Christmas baby.
I'm 6 months from Christmas baby.
Oh,
exactly.
It's not fair. We get shafted on our birthday.
Do you get Christmas wrapping paper for your birthday?
Oh, I don't even get that. It's like, you know, I get the whole, well, I was going to get you something, but I got an extra special. It's like, no, it's the same crap you got me anyway. Like, blow up lips for a bathtub cushion. I'm like, really? Really, that's the extra special? I'd hate to see what you'd have got me anyway.
Here's a pen.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, my family's so wonderful. There's a reason they're all afraid of me. All right, no questions? Come on. You ready?
I really ran a question. So for Acheron, Sprite kind of makes them a little funny. Is it just Sprite or like lemon lime sodas, or is it carbonated sodas?
It's carbonated.
So
Anything
carbonation
carbonated
makes them a little, so even like sparkling mineral water would be.
Anything carbonated.
Nobody else there.
Is that what?
Is that why Caleb drinks Coke?
Caleb?
Yeah, not
What?
this.
He just likes it. Well, it doesn't affect him at all, so.
Are you going to do another book in Ash's perspective?
Yeah, we've already done that. Why would I do it again?
She wants Ash's
I would do it again. We've been there.
Two-part question. Have we met Ash's dad?
I cannot.
Also, is
Don't you love the poker face? You can tell I was raised in the middle of 8 boys, right? Because, you know, snitches need stitches. And up then out of this.
is Marissa reincarnated?
What?
Is
It's hard to hear sometimes.
Marissa reincarnated?
No.
Okay.
That I can give you.
Thank you.
At least not that I know of. Sometimes they don't tell me things.
What was the most challenging one to write?
All of them.
All of them?
Especially with, you know, children. Oh no, God love, my oldest son has now decided he's going to be a writer. Because, you know, it's the easiest thing in the world. And imagine right now, I write in the basement. We have a 2-story house, and I live, my son's like, Mom, you know, I'm withdrawing from the world. I've had it. But, you know, it's really disgusting. I cannot be a basement dweller when my mother has already beat me to it. I'm like, yeah, sorry, kid, you're a little late.
Sub-basement?
Yeah, right. We need a sub-basement for him. But anyhow, so as far down into the basement as I dwell, I can still hear my son, who weighs like maybe $110, thumping up there like a herd of elephants. It is the loudest sound. I mean, it is so loud, he will turn on the lamps that are downstairs that are motion detected. how do you do this? You weigh nothing. And anyway, so the other day, or a couple of months ago, I hear the little elephant comes down. And suddenly my little drama king throws himself down on the floor in my basement dwelling office. He goes, Mom, writing's so hard. Really? I had no clue. You should try doing it with a thumping herd of elephants over your head. At 3 o'clock in the morning when it's supposed to be sleeping. He's like, no, I don't understand, Mom. Okay, so the character is supposed to be doing this, but he won't do it. And he's supposed to be talking. He won't talk at all. And I'm trying to put them in the room, and they won't go. And I don't know what to do. And I said, well, welcome to parenthood. Well, what do I do? Well, you sit there and you write it, and congratulations, son, you're now an author. So yeah, I love my children. It's like magic little fairies come in at night and they write the books for me, apparently.
On that note, what would you recommend, or like what advice would you give to people who are aspiring to write stories?
Y'all want fries with that? Never give up, never surrender. It's what I tell my son. It's like, you know, it's like any job. It's hard. I mean, there's no such thing as an easy book to write. There's no such thing as an easy character to write. There are some that will be easier that you don't bleed quite as hard for, but no, basically there's no job that's easy. Yeah, I wish they were. You know, if you want to do it, writing's one of those things that it's not, you don't choose writing, writing chooses you. People who have to write. And if those voices are calling, you really, unfortunately, that insanity is your mistress, and it will own you forever. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, I noticed when you're writing the Chronicles of Nick, you're changing the storyline of the Dark Hunters.
I'm not changing, it was there all along. They were all, the Chronicles of Nick and Dark Hunter, if you go back and read it, it's always been there. I've been pointing it out as I write Dark Hunter, you will see it. If you go back and read the books, they've been pointed out as I was writing Dark Hunter.
Well, like certain like aspects, like Katie knowing Ash when he's younger and his powers becoming unlocked when he's younger.
There are hints, so if you go back and look at that, things like, there are things that were intentionally put in there. I'm trying to tell you without giving spoilers. But if you go back and you look at the Dark Hunters, there are things that appear to be in the shadows, but they're not. And when you read them with perspective, you go back and you look at them, you go, oh. Because Ambrose has been in books you didn't know he was in. And then when you go back, there are things that have been there all along from the very beginning. It's been set up from the very beginning. So in terms of nothing's going to change that has not changed. I mean, it looks like how do you explain this?
Doctor Who.
Kind of, but not. I mean, yes, there are certain things that have changed, but as they change, or as they've changed, they have been pointed out, and they were done that way to show you that things can be changed to give him hope. But certain things, and it's that whole prologue that you have at the beginning of Infinity, there are little things that change. So you do have the tiny little adjustments you can make, but certain things are going to always be set into stone. And so those are the ones that don't change, and it's those anchor points of your life that you have no control over. And so does that answer the question? Okay.
So, with
time travel. So
I don't get it.
With some of your books, I've had to set it down and be like, okay, well, let me take a breather. When you're writing them, do you ever have to just, okay, I need to take a step back before I continue on with this, just because they're just that intense?
Not really.
No.
No, but I have to write around the kids killing each other, so nothing's as intense as real life. I mean, there's blood on the walls. Oh, great! I gotta go to the ER again. Thanks.
So, to kind of play on what she was saying and to kind of offer this perspective for it, I read and I watch a lot of Martin and Game of Thrones, and what they've said, because the stories are kind of different, but they're like the books versus the show. And what they said that kind of made me think of this is it's the same story being told by a different historian. Mm-hmm. Could you almost use that to kind of play in with certain parts of Chronicles of Nick with Dark Hunters, where it's almost like the same recollection of the story, but maybe from a different historian telling it.
Well, that's true between the characters. I mean, you do get different points of view from different events, depending on the character who tells it. I mean, you get different, you know, you look at a character like Marissa, you get an entirely different viewpoint if Ash is telling the story because he knew a different part of her than somebody like Styx. So you do have different vantage points between different characters. So that's more telling than the timeline, because the timeline is the timeline. So, yeah.
It was spur of the moment thought.
What inspired you to write the Chronicles of Nick?
That was adorable.
I'm editing the word my son used in my head because you're very young. I actually wanted to write Chronicles of Nick for a very long time, but I kept postponing it mostly because my editor was like, nobody will ever buy books that have a little boy as a protagonist. And then one day my son came home from school when he wasn't a whole lot older than you, and he threw his summer reading list down on the table and he said, "Mom, you've got to write me a book about a boy, because if you don't, I'm going to grow girl parts." And it's not fair because all the books are now written about girls and I want a book written about boys. And I called my editor and I said, I've got to start writing something that little boys will read and little girls will read. So that's what motivated me to actually force her to the wall and go, okay, if you don't do this, I'm going to go somewhere else and write it.
Are you going to continue writing the Brotherhood of the Sword?
Maybe. That one's a little hard to write right now because of the political climate. When I started writing it, it was before 9/11, so it's kind of, yeah, it's a little hard to write about the Crusades given post 9/11. So yeah, that's what happened to the series. You know, it's yeah, I don't want to touch anything that politically hot. So yeah, it just, that was bad timing.
It's a good series. Really.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. But you know, when you're writing the Crusades, it's just really bad timing.
It's history.
It is history. It is. But people get, you know, and yeah, I just don't want to. You know, peace and love and harmony.
This just came to me, and I haven't read all of yours, so it might not have already been done, but do you think you'll ever write one from Artemis's point of view?
Maybe. I never say never. I don't know.
What?
I never say never. I don't know. If I get the inspiration, yes.
Or like Styx, you just kind of write it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
They do that to me.
Are the TV series, the movies still going through?
Huh?
Are you still working on the TV series for like the Dark Tower?
The movie's going forward first. I mean, yeah, they're still doing it. They are still doing it, but we'll be doing the TV, the movie first. They'll start filming actually in February. So yes, we are going to be filming this February.
What's it going to?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hi over there.
Hi. So when she was talking about Artemis and you said, oh, I don't know, but do they tell you? Do they get in your head and
They do.
make their voices?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I do. I mean, I'm constantly going, shut up, somebody else needs to talk. So.
Yes, and it's really frustrating when you're in the middle of a book and somebody else starts talking. It's like, go away.
So is one of them a little bit more talkative?
Yeah, and like right now I'm trying to finish up one book and I've got another character and it's like, shut up, I can't get to them right now. Yeah, it's like loud little children.
I just wanted to actually make a statement. Night Play with Bane and Bride is my favorite book.
Oh, thank you.
And I have it on audio now and I listen to it almost every night when I go to bed. And as a very large woman, I just wanted to say that, you know, that was a very awesome book.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I think a lot of women appreciate that as a plus size, and it was just probably one of my favorite books that you've ever read. So I just wanted to, that was just a statement on it. nothing, you know, but yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you.
Can I go and put this book away?
Just leave it right here.
Yeah.
But I can go get it first.
Yeah, my editor hates that.
What's your process? I mean, as far as getting those out, or you just
write what comes to you and you just keep writing?
Yeah, but it's the character, well, okay, how many people want Darkness Within? Oh, thank God. Okay, well, a couple of you have stuck your hands up. Yeah. Occasionally, I'm well aware of the fact that I'm human, so, like Darkness Within, I wrote it, it sucked. And, yeah, no, it sucked. That's why you guys have not seen it. And I'm well aware of the fact that not everything I write is gold. And then when it doesn't, I set it aside and I go and I work on something else until I can make it better. Yeah, no, because I don't think it's fair to you guys. I mean, I don't want you guys to have something I'm not proud of. And if I don't think it's my best work, I'm not going to give it. So I'll start a book, and if I don't really like where it's going or I don't think it's there yet, I will actually pull it and then I go to work on something else. Because I know how hard it is to make money. I know how hard it is to work, and I love you guys. And I am never, ever, ever going to put something out there that I don't think is absolutely the best story I can tell. I mean, I want you to love everything as much as I do. And, it pains me for a reader to go, I didn't like it, or I was disappointed. I don't like to hear those words. So, my thing is when I come out here, I want to look you dead in the eyes and go, I did my best. I'm sorry you didn't like it, but honestly, at the end of the day, I thought it was the best thing I could do. So, yeah. But my process is I have to love the characters, I have to love the book, or it stays at home.
But it flows.
It does flow. Yeah, I mean, as well as any book will flow. I mean, I don't have writer's block, but, there's a lot of walking around the basement floor. And my sons, they can always tell, they're like, you're thinking. It's like, yes. My process is I have this little area of a circle down in the basement. And I just sit and walk in a circle like a weird, yeah. And yeah, I do a lot of walking.
We also we write together, and a lot of times music we'll find songs that fit characters. What kind of music helps you with different characters? Each character have kind of a playlist, or just their general
I listen to the kind of stuff you would never dream I listen to. I listen to really loud punk. Disturbed. I used to be in a punk band, so the kind of stuff my children are like, oh my, what do you do when your mother's favorite band is Disturbed? You listen to J-pop. Yeah, no, my sons listen, and I'm like, what are you listening to? They're like, shut up, Mom, turn your music down. So yeah, that's when your mom's favorite bands are things like Black Flag. Your kids go to your kids go into this strange subgenre music. You're like, really?
I listen to K-pop.
So your rebellion becomes J-pop, apparently.
Woo woo!
Is that going to be the end of the Lords of Avalon series?
No, I'm still going to write. I mean, the next 3 books are all dragon books, so they're Lords of Avalon. They tie in because of the way that we're going to be, well, the way I say we, the royal we is me and the characters. Because we write the books together. Yeah, it really is. It's like, it's weird to take credit because it's like, but it's not just me, it's the characters and it's our world and we share it and it's bizarre. But anyway, the next 3 books that I'll be writing are Dragon Bane, Dragon Mark, and the book yet to be Dragon something that we're fighting over right now. Yeah, and my editor, I don't like that, and then she'll come up and it's like, I don't like that one either. So the dragon we're arguing over right now. Where am I going with that? I don't know. I had a thought. You can tell I've been on a plane, right?
Yes.
My brain does not work well. What is it? It's oxygen death, right? You get on the plane, they suck all the oxygen out, and then I'm left going, I think my IQ points got left up there. But anyway, oh yeah, Lords of Avalon, Dark Hunter. I'm usually funnier than this. It really is. Anyway, yeah, so we'll be doing Lords of Avalon with that, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Movie?
The movie, yes.
Movie?
Yes.
What movie?
Oh, Infinity.
Oh.
What is your favorite book that you've written out of all the series?
All of them, or I wouldn't have them out. So it is. It's like, ow. That may not be real hair, but ow, it sure hurts when you pull it. If I don't love them, they don't come out. So I love them all and I hate them all equally. It's like you look back at them and you remember like all the battle scripts. Like, yeah, I remember you and that moment. And, yeah, but no, I do love them all. So there was a question.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you ever get like mixed up between? Because I know you write so many books. Do you ever like put the Dark Hunter down and go into the League and then go into? Is it easy to do that, or is it kind of hard?
No. For me, have you noticed I'm ADD? So no, to ping pong back and forth between the series really isn't that hard. What I do is, and I do this in real life too. I know I gave you your name. Come here. So when I stop one book and I go to the next one, it'll take me a day or two to start typing the right hero name. Because for some reason my brain keeps kicking out the hero of the last book I was working on. It's like, yeah, why did I do that? And how many people have read Night Play where I did that? I typed Fang instead of Fury. Yeah. Fury instead of Fang. It's like, I knew who was in the car. It just was the wrong one.
How do you keep track of your characters then?
In my head, I don't have a problem. It's like my kids. They're so real to me that I don't get them mixed up.
Like a huge whiteboard?
Oh God, no. Do you know how many characters I never realized how expensive. No wonder I get migraines. I now know why and why I'm ADD. Until I had to write things down for screenwriters. And try to explain it to screenwriters, and then it's like, well, we did the timeline for the first time, and the timeline was 1,200 pages.
Wow.
And it's not even all documented out yet. Yeah, no, it was huge. And then laying down all the characters for them. For the first time, God love Paco and them for doing the database, and yeah, it was huge. It's like, wow, there's a lot of characters in that. I know now the migraines.
Which book was the hardest to write, or the one that when you finished you were like, finally?
Well, only because it was 1,600 pages, sticks. And my son kept coming down, my youngest son, because at the same time he was having to do a 15-page, remember this, Rachel? A 15-page term paper, and he was whining, going, and we gotta go to 15 pages. And when I got through with sticks, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. You were never to whine to me about page counting. So yeah, it's kind of hard when your mom's a writer to really go, I gotta do 5 pages. Really? Who wins this contest?
Just because we brought up sticks, I just want to say that it was just, you wrote it just so well that when I finished, I had to sit there for a moment because I was like, I feel like I just went on the most emotional roller coaster. I need to take a day to get back to reality.
Actually, about sticks, there's this one sentence that caught my eye and it kind of worried me, and I kind of don't want to ask the question because I don't want the answer, but it says that Apollo attacked Nick. Now, did he attack Nick or did they just fight it out?
Knowing Apollo.
Let's go answer.
They fought.
They fought with their fists?
Yeah, I was trying to think of something more clever to say, but yeah, my brain function has not come back yet. So darn it, I was trying to be really clever and quick, and oh yeah, sometimes I can do those comebacks, and sometimes I can't. Dang it, I'll get there.
So my question is, Ash is making his own little pantheon and going up. Maybe with the timeline changes happening, would Nick ever join his pantheon? Would that even be in the
He's
cards?
not making his own pantheon.
He's just having people.
He is having a few kids, but he's not making a pantheon. It's not a new pantheon.
Reinstating an old one?
Huh?
Reinstating the old one?
Not really. He's not into that. That's a power play thing. He's not putting together. Yeah, he's got friends. He has a party. It's not a real pantheon.
Are you ever going to have Artemis and Apollo like go at war with each other? Because the entire time.
If I tell y'all that, you would not want to read the book.
I could just see them being.
I mean, I can tell you how everything ends, but you know, then what's the good of it?
I think I like your comment there.
That's fine.
When you write Sandovar's story, are you going to do a past and present like you did with Ash?
Probably.
It sounds like this past is kind of interesting.
Well, he has it'll be another one where it'll be, because there's so, I mean, he's so old, there's so much. And my poor editor's like, I need a little more advance notice before you do that to me again, because I need to, you know, book a vacation afterwards.
That was my question.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, it'll be a humdinger, because anytime you've got, you know, just because you're dealing with 14,000 years of history, and
I wrote to you on Facebook about it, and I said, please write it before I die.
I'd like to write it before I die.
I'm a lot older.
Because like I know you mentioned earlier, like some characters are easier than others. Like which character is just like when you sit down or they're in a scene, it's just like so easy to just like they are just like, yeah, I'm here, let's do this, or does it really vary?
It varies day to day. I mean,
Really?
you know, sometimes they're all easy. Sometimes it's like
They're having a bad day.
It's almost like a form of schizophrenia. I mean, you'll hear them sometimes in your head, and they're so loud, and it's just like I can't even focus because they're dueling in my head, and it really is like a form of madness. I mean, you know, it's bizarre. And then other days it's like, and my son has discovered the land of. And you're like, oh my God, where did they go? Are they coming back? I've been deserted and I'm terrified.
I have a question about Son of No One. It was implied that practically stated that Cadigan and Joe were reincarnated. Are we ever gonna see that story?
Yeah, I thought about it in a short story. As of yet, it hasn't manifested. So in terms of seeing Joe and Cadigan, maybe, or Cadogan. I'm with you. I like doing Cadigan too. I know it's wrong, so doesn't it? Yeah, people love to correct me. It's like, yeah, I know it's wrong, but I'm saying Cadigan too. So, but I would like to do their story, but so far it hasn't manifested. So yeah, I probably will at some point. But it's kind of like, there's so many little stories like that I want to go back and do. I'm like, come on. And then they mock me. It's so unfair. They are like little taunting children going, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. About Son of No One, did Artemis ever take care of the witch's curse? Is that done with? Did she finally get rid of that?
Basically, yeah. I mean, I could have, like set fire to something, but I leave that to my family.
Where's Grandma?
We're going to take about 3 more questions, and then we'll start with this
Okay.
one.
You have probably been patient over there, and I have not seen you. You need to throw something at me. Comment? I have not had time to even look at the schedules. So, yeah, probably. There's always stuff at Comic Con I want to do.
Do you get a chance to actually be a fan at all?
I do a little bit, but not as much as I would like to. That's the only bad thing with doing what I do, but yeah. I know. Thank you. Let's see. Questions I haven't answered or...
I was wondering, I read like you're coming up with a pirate series. Is that going to be connected to Seawolf at all?
Maybe, but not. What it's mostly connected to is Thorn.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little kind of a. How many people know about Dead Man's Cross? Okay, a few of you. Dead Man's Cross is going to be High Seas fun. It's a little pirate spin-off of Dark Hunter. It's a small trilogy that I'm going to be doing for Tor. And it's basically around Thorn and a character called Captain Bane. So it's going to be a little bit of fun and just, yeah, it'll have a little bit. I've got a scene in my head where they'll be with Morgan, but I don't know for a fact. So yeah, there may be a couple of cameos with Morgan and maybe even Blackjack, but I don't know.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm tormenting that idea. Maybe.
Are you doing any more bad series?
I never say never. I don't know.
You don't know?
It depends on where the news takes me, or the muse.
Do we know Karma's baby daddy?
Do we know?
Karma's baby's daddy?
I know Carmen's baby's daddy. Or have you met him?
Have we read about him in the series at all?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
See, I can kind of answer questions.
That's fine. That's all I need.
Wait, was that one little question? Or let's see. Okay, one more.
Why did you make Nick's punishment wear the Hawaiian shirt?
That's not punishment. That's not punishment. That was actually me striking back at my mother, trying to make me normal. Everybody had well, except for me. Again, I'm that mother walking around going, "Would you please wear black, child? Please, one of my children, somebody go goth. I will pay you money. What piercing?" Somebody, and my sons are like, "Khaki, I want khaki. Mom, button downs." And I'm looking at them going, "Button downs? Where did I go wrong?" But when I was young, I had a group of friends, and we were actually called the Fish Head Patrol, which means nothing to any of you. It's kind of an inside joke that we used to always wear Hawaiian shirts. And so it's just kind of like a little homage to my group that I used to run around with many, many years ago, but we were all really huge goth people. And just every now and again, to mess with people's heads, because they had such a stereotype with us, we'd pick a day and we'd wear these loud, obnoxious Hawaiian shirts, and people would be like, as if they're not weird enough, what are they doing now? So that's how I did it. It's just, we're weird. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.